Hey there, YouTubers, viewers, subscribers, and non-subscribers. RoseRed17 here, and welcome to my channel. This is the review video of Rave Master Volume 9, Chapters 65 to 73. Here is the backstory about the two Gales, as it turns out that they were the ones that created the demon cards to fight crime and bring peace to the world. So eventually, they were the good guys at first. But then, one day, the two went their separate ways, and Gale ended up on Garage Island, fell in love with Sakura, and had a family. Everything seemed peaceful for Gale, but an old friend of his from the outside told him that King has turned the demon cards into an evil organization. Gale felt guilty about it and decided to leave the island to go and talk to King, leaving his wife and children behind. And after 5 years, Gale made it to the demon cards. He learned that King has also had a family as well, and he came to stop King from whatever he's doing, but King told him to get lost and that he doesn't have to understand anything. He had his men point guns at Gale, but he doesn't want to kill him, and told him to go back home. Gale is upset as to what happened, and then one of his old friends who works in the Empire finds him, and Gale told him everything that happened. He reported to the authorities to have King arrested, but then they just started shooting up the place. Like, damn, they were supposed to arrest the one guy, not kill all the people inside. They even shot down his wife and child. It's like this guy doesn't give a shit. This shows how corrupted the Empire has become, and Gale felt the guilt as King blamed him for his suffering. 3 days after King was arrested, Glory couldn't believe what happened, and then was approached by the scumbag in Rave to shoot Glory in the head, but then gets sliced by King, who escaped his prison, and then sliced Glory's face. Right before he was about to get killed, Gale's wife Sakura came into the picture. Like, where the hell did she even come from? Oh wait, that's right. She's been traveling for months looking for her husband. Now that she has found him, only to die right in front of him. Like, damn, that is sadly brutal. After Sakura's death, King placed a shadow stone within Gale's body. Now that Haru knows the truth, he breaks down in tears and attacks King for killing his mother, but he doesn't kill him. Haru told King that it is also wrong to be fighting and that he is getting sick of it. But King tossed him off, saying that he doesn't know anything, and according to him, the blood of the Rare Grove and the Syphonia are destined to fight each other. Even though Haru doesn't want to fight, he does it anyway because of other reasons, not because of destiny. Both Haru and King started their fight, and after a few swings, King caused a huge explosion. Meanwhile, Ellie managed to find her way up to the door where Haru is, but also saw the door blow up and see Haru flying towards her and then on her. Yep, the classic grabbing the girl by the boobs by accident cliche. I also like the fact that Ellie properly introduced herself to Gale after meeting him, and Haru gets bashful after hearing the word girlfriend from his dad. This is something that I would have seen before, but usually both a boy and the girl get flustered after hearing that sentence from a parent. But Ellie, I guess, didn't hear what he said and just went for the introduction. I kinda like that naive side of her. But the introductions will have to wait as Gale is holding his ground against King once again. But then Ellie gave the Rave to Haru to help win. But get this, Haru doesn't actually use the Rave, instead he gives it to Plu. It seems the Rave of Combat gives Plu a power boost and claims to be a Rave warrior. I mean, it does make sense if you think about it. After all, Plu was there in the beginning with all 4 Rave stones helping Sheba destroy the Shadow Stone. So after achieving the Rave Stone, Plu falls to the ground, having the audience scratch their heads. But wait for it. Haru swinging a sword at King again as Plu gets back up, walks towards King, and falls asleep. Wait for it. King was about to slice the little guy, but Haru calls out to Plu and diffuses the explosion, giving Haru an opening and went for it and continues attacking King until he went for a final blow, causing King to fall. But it's a little too early to be celebrating as King gets back up, revealing a secret Shadow Stone. Now with this secret Shadow Stone, King turns into a bloodthirsty monster. go figure. He's a lot more powerful now as both Gale and Haru are struggling to take him down. The battle gets more intense as Haru is being crushed under King's foot, which enrages Gale to attack him with everything he's got. But it still wasn't enough as King keeps getting back up. Gale told Ellie to take Haru and run while he holds him off. Ellie did what she is told, and then Gale told her to take care of Haru as she runs off carrying Haru on her back. Gale wanted to finish him off once and for all, but then he started to get flashbacks and memories of them two together as he couldn't do it. But then suddenly Haru came back into the picture and then they both took down King together. They deliver the final blow as King falls to the ground, but then a few seconds later he gets back up, but learns that he has no strength left to fight back as King came to his senses and told him about the Irration 6. Before his death, King talks about the time when the Raves were born and that the war was over. It was also the time that both Gale and King were born. After that, King wants Glory to finish him off. However, Glory doesn't have the heart to do so, and so King ends up killing himself to stop the vicious cycle between the two bloodlines and destroying the tower. The blast was sent all around the world as Sheba from Garage Island recognized it as overdrive. Now, during his final moments, King recognized his wrongdoing and apologized to Gale for killing his wife. He also admits that he knew it wasn't Glory's fault, and he puts the blame on himself as he passes away, saying farewell to his dear friend. Gale, Haru, and Ellie are making their way to the exit, but then a pile of stones and rocks are blocking their way. So Ellie does what she does best, blow up and clearing a path for them. Gale seems to be amazed by her and teases Haru about their relationship as they're getting into a funny argument, which I'm not gonna lie, this did make me giggle. Ellie thought it was funny too, but then Haru mentions her name and Gale seemed to recognize it, which is foreshadowing to say the least. The name does have an importance to the plot. Anyways, Ellie was about to get crushed by the rumbles until Let came to her rescue. But he wasn't actually saving her, he just didn't want Haru to die because they never got that rematch with him. Haru seemed to be fine with that and they all ran for the exit, but then the floor crumbles down and Gale falls. Haru jumps down after him as Let grabs Ellie and continues running to the exit and tells her to trust them. Gale and Haru are now trapped underneath and they need to work together to find a way out. They start following a path and also start to talk about Karela. Talk about how popular she is on the island and that she had a boyfriend, but Haru beat him up because he was a jerk, and they just have a decent conversation. But then the rumblings start to get worse and they both ended up trapped even more in the ground with little oxygen they have left. Then the two started chatting some more as Gale brought up Ellie and asked if that's her real name. Haru was surprised at first, but then he told him about her amnesia, and Gale seemed to recognize her as the same girl. Same girl? Does he mean Raisha? But that can't be. He's never met her, and I know this because he would have recognized Ellie's face. But he does seem to know about her. The two continue talking as the rocks and stone keep coming down as Haru is feeling weaker by the minute, and Gale mentioned a sacred place known as Star Memory, a legend that has been passed down through the Siphonia royal family, which is a place that holds all the answers, according to the legend. The condition in the area got worse as Gale did what any father would do for their child, and that is protecting them. Gale used his own body as a human shield to save Haru from the falling stones and rocks collapsing from the tower, and in the end, he sacrificed his own life for him. After the tower has collapsed, everyone heard about the sad news of Gale's death. Haru was sitting at his gravesite until Ellie came along to try and cheer him up, which she does succeed in a way as Haru seemed to smile a little, and then a picture came out of the jacket that he was holding on his lap. It was the photo of his family when Haru was a baby. This caused Haru to break down into tears as he was embraced by Ellie while she held him in her arms. This is such a sad moment, and it shows the emotion coming through, and it's even well done in the anime. I remember remember one time in one of my Eden Zero review videos, which I will talk about by the end of this video, Haru gets a vision from his father and shows him 3 different paths for him to choose. The first is to find the other Rave stones. The second is to help Ellie recover her memories. And third is to return the Garage Island. Haru chooses all 3 paths, mostly because he wants to figure out the true meaning behind the Rave, and he also hinted that Ellie's memories is involved. And with that, Gale said his final goodbyes, and Haru wakes up again his new journey in the next volume. I will have to say, this one was enjoyable, and the ending had a heartfelt moment. And speaking of that moment, I didn't finish what I was going to say after mentioning one of the Eden Zero's review videos. I remember saying there are some similarities between the two, and there's a lot more reference in Eden Zero from Rave Master more than Fairy Tail. Remember that time when Witch died? Shiki went into depression and Rebecca did everything she could to comfort him. Here in Rave Master, it's the same way. This is one of the similarities I was talking about earlier. Although the same thing does happen in Fairy Tail with Natsu and Lucy. When Lucy lost her father, Natsu wanted to cheer her up by taking her on a mission. And after Eclair died, Natsu embraced Lucy and told her that Eclair was smiling in the end. That is one of the sweetest things he has ever done. And I know he has done more to make her happy. I would say that Lucy did the same with Natsu, but after Igneo died, she didn't do anything. Like, what the hell, Lucy? He comforts you when you lost somebody you love, but when Natsu lost the father that he's been searching for the past 14 years and suddenly just died on him, she didn't bother to check up on him to see if he was okay. I know Lucy is going through some issues herself after losing Aquarius, but I honestly feel sad for Natsu than her, because between the 2 losses of the MC, one of them is dead. And it's not the celestial spirit. Breaking her key didn't kill her. Aquarius said so herself. And Lucy has a chance to not only see Aquarius again, but also gets back her gate key. While Natsu will have to be in a coma, practically dead himself, in order to see Igneo. And it happened to him twice in the final arc in 100 Requests. So tell me, who am I supposed to feel more sorry for? The one with the abandonment issues, or the one with the PTSD? Now with the 2 MCs from Rave Master in Eden Zero, there's a lot more similarity there. And it's really up to you guys if you think so or not, and tell me your thoughts on the matter. Well then everyone, thank you so much for watching, and if you are new here, you can subscribe to this channel, and you can also hit that notification button for more updates on my newest videos. And don't forget, you can check me out on Twitter, TikTok, and Discord, and I'll see you all in the next video. RoseRed17 out.